see now has joined us from Cambodia. Awesome. Keep the introductions coming in. It's always good to network, right? These events before we start the session. I see Sharik has joined us from Sri Lanka, and Musad has joined us from Nigeria. Once again, everyone, welcome to the program preview session here. And let me just also introduce myself because I saw a lot of you have joined us in the last few minutes. And also thank you for joining in early. So I'm just putting down my introduction here. So Rasha Khan joining all the way from Bangalore, India, and looking forward to hosting you today in this free program preview. Keep the introductions coming in with your name and where are you tuning in from, because sometimes it's very hard to make your email, basically name from your email IDs here. So let's quickly go through the few quick ground rules here while you're giving introductions on the chat here. So there are very easy ground rules you need to follow for the webinar here. So you need to put down your questions in the Q&A box. And also the session will be recorded in case you want to go through the recording of the session once again. You can expect a follow-up email with recording link and the webinar certificate. Now, what exactly is this webinar certificate? So for attending this webinar, you can basically get a webinar certificate. For that, you will have to stay till the end of the session and you will have to request a proof of attendance for this webinar by providing your full name in the post-webinar survey. Now, where exactly does the post-webinar survey basically is visible? Basically, once the webinar, which is of 60 minutes of duration, ends, Zoom will give you a pop-up and which will say post-webinar survey, and it will ask you to enter your full name, which you would want to see in the webinar certificate. So in case you have any queries, because I see a lot of new folks are joining in still, I'll just repeat this once again towards the end of the session before I end the session. So please don't worry. In case you have any questions about the recording link or the webinar certificate, I'll just clear them out before I end the session. So once again, welcome everyone. I see Zubair has joined us from US, and Mohan has joined us from Bangalore, Abdul from Pakistan, and I see Umair has joined us on YouTube. So Umair basically has joined us from Pakistan. Umair, welcome. So please call my name. And this program is powered by Simplilearn's #1 online bootcamp. We are very proud that we have been in the transforming space for over a decade now, and we have advanced over 5 lakh plus careers in over 150 plus countries. We have 800 plus qualified trainers. We have categories ranging from AI/ML, which we'll be covering today, data science, business analytics, cybersecurity, cloud computing, DevOps, and many more like that. So let's talk about agenda of today's session. I see the chat is buzzing with introductions. That's great. Just a request, please do not share your personal information on the chat. Thank you so much for that. And let's quickly go through the agenda of today's session. So we'll be getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your career better, especially in AML. If you have any questions, we'll be answering that, helping you out. And also we'll be talking about careers in AI machine learning in the 2024 space, and what this program by IIT Kanpur offers, and giving you an overview of the program here, and also how this program gets you job ready. And based on your interest in enrollment, we'll be taking through the enrollment steps, which are very quick and easy to follow. And also there'll be special duration for the Q&A part here. So in case you have any questions, you can, I know a lot of you folks I saw have joined just now. We are just starting the session. We were just quickly going through the agenda and few quick ground rules we have for the session here. So just to repeat it once again, in case you have any questions, you can put down your queries in the Q&A box. As you can see, the chat box is buzzing with messages and introductions. So it will be very hard to track your query here. And we would love to address all of your queries here. For that, we will need a little help from you to just go and put down your questions in the Q&A box. Now, the questions can be related to career in AIML, if you're trying to transition into it or already working in it, and also about the program as well by IIT Kanpur, which we'll be talking more about in detail in the coming slides. So thank you so much once again. Thank you for introductions on the chat here. Keep the introductions coming in because I see a lot of new folks are still joining in. Before we start the session, let's get to know a little bit more about you, as I mentioned earlier. So let's start with a quick poll here. As I saw that a lot of you have joined from different states of India and also different countries here. So it's always good to see a diverse crowd here. But also what is interesting is people come from different set of experiences as well. So I'm just launching a quick poll here, which says how many years of experience do you currently have? So there are four quick options you can choose from. For folks who have joined us live on YouTube chat box, I'll just read out those options for you, and you can just let me know by options number. So first one is currently studying, second one 0 to 3 years, third one 3 to 5 years, and the last one more than 5 years. So as I was speaking, I see a lot of you have already started responding for the poll here. So we've gotten a very active set of folks here. That's great. Folks who have already given the instructions, please go and quickly vote for this quick poll here. And folks who have already voted, please go and do introduce yourselves on the chat here. And I see on the YouTube live chat box, folks, I'm watching you as well. So for folks who have joined us live on YouTube, in case you have any questions, you can obviously let us know on the YouTube live chat box. It's just that please keep it related to the AML basically topic here. And also if you have any questions about the program, that's the only thing. So please do that. And I see responses on the chat or YouTube live chat box also coming in terms of how many years of experience do you currently have. And I see Joanita has joined us from Ghana on YouTube. Carol from Malaysia. I see Solomon has joined us from UK here. So thank you so much for your introductions on the YouTube live chat box. You can keep the introductions still coming in because we're just starting the session. And I'll give 5 more seconds for the poll here because I see most of you have already responded for the poll. So last 5 seconds, folks, how many years of experience do you currently have? When we are talking about experience here, we're talking about work experience, just to be clear. So last 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll. Thank you so much, folks, for sharing your responses for this poll and also share the results with you folks. So let's see what have you voted for. So 47% of you have voted for currently studying and 31% of you voted for more than 5 years. 16% of you have voted for 0 to 3 years and 6% of you have voted for 3 to 5 years. A lot of folks on the YouTube live chat box have also voted for 3 to 5 years and 0 to 3 years. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And let's quickly move on to our introduction of our speaker. Would like to welcome Amitendra Shrivastava here. Amitendra, thank you so much for taking the time out for this free program review by IIT Kanpur here. We'll be talking more about the program and also what is exactly happening in the career space of AML here. But would love to know a little bit about you before we start the session.
Hey, thanks, Rasha. Always pleasure hosting a webinar with you. And hello, everyone. I'm truly delighted to be here with all of you today. My name is Amitendra, and I would take a few moments to introduce myself. I hold an MBA degree, and I have had a privilege of accumulating over 16 years of invaluable corporate experience. My journey in the corporate world has been defined by my passion for analytics and statistical concepts. This passion has driven me to excel in the fields of training delivery and analytics product development. Over these years, I have had the incredible opportunity to work with some remarkable organizations and individuals. I have had the privilege of training corporate organizations in data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, accumulating over 4,500 hours of training experience. And it's been a deeply rewarding experience to empower professionals with the knowledge and skills to harness the power of these transformative technologies. In addition to my training endeavor, I also wear the hat of an entrepreneur. I co-founded a company called Intellitica, where we specialize in crafting data-driven solutions. And our mission is to leverage the incredible potential of data to solve real-world problems and drive innovations. So that's what about me. Over to you, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for your introduction. It's always a pleasure hosting you. I think let's start with the first agenda of today's session. So let's talk about careers in AI and machine learning in 2024 here. So let's talk about hottest skills in the AML space in 2024. What exactly will be in demand, not only in 2024, but also in future as well. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are, Rasha.
Yeah, I was saying let's talk about the hottest skills in the AI/ML space in
Sorry
2024.
for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so hottest skills when we are talking about these days, obviously there's a lot of talk about generative AI, but what I can tell you here is that if I have to list down top five skills that you have to pick up. So generative AI is on top of any skill set you talk about at this point in time. There's a lot of demand for generative AI and expertise in designing and implementing GANs, which are widely used for the tasks like image generation, style transfer, and data augmentation is something that has picked up like very fast in last few years. Not to forget transfer learning, the capability to leverage pre-trained models and adopt them to new tasks, especially in situation with limited label data. And not to forget computer vision, the ability to develop algorithms and systems that enables machines to interpret and understand visual information. So if I have to list down top five from the screen that you have shown, I would say computer vision, transfer learning, generative adversarial networks, or in general generative AI, big data technology, AI-driven cybersecurity. These are the top five skill set that you can think of. Uh, Having said that, not to forget that what you have listed out there, all of them hold a lot of potential. It's not that one thing is important, another is not. So this entire ecosystem itself is growing with a rapid pace. So whether you pick up AI-driven AI strategy or consulting or any other methods, any other skill as well, that will also have a lot of potential. But if you ask me top five, I listed down those five.
Thank you so much, Abhitendra, for giving a glimpse on basically what are the hottest skills which will be in demand in AMS scale space in 2024. So now that we've talked about the skills here, how can we miss talking about the career paths here, right? So as we can see, there are so many career paths folks can take up in the EML space here. But what will be in demand in 2024, not only 2024 again, like in the future as well?
In terms of skill set, you need to understand that these skill set that is listed on your screen captures the entire gamut of AI and machine learning that we have been talking about. So when you if you correlate this with the skill set on the previous slide, it's not that one of the role over here, AI developer is fit for, say, a particular skill. It's something that you need to decide which role is suitable to you, and you need to get into that particular job role and you need to work on that. So to clarify what these job roles are, if I start with AI researcher, so the role would be to conduct cutting edge research to advance the field of artificial intelligence, may work on developing new algorithms, models, or even theories, research papers, and all. And skill set, if you talk about for AI researcher, strong background in mathematics and statistics, proficiency in programming languages, it could be Python, it could be R or any other. And you should have in-depth knowledge of machine learning algorithms and models. Then AI developer, when you're talking about design and implement AI solution based on existing models and algorithms and work on the practical application of AI in various domains. And skill set, again, you have to have a programming language knowledge. You should understand the AI concepts and frameworks, and you should have knack of problem solving. That's very important. Similarly, if you talk about machine learning engineer, the role would be to develop machine learning models and systems, often focusing on deploying them into production environment, which has become quite important these days. And skill set, strong programming skill set, good sound knowledge of machine learning frameworks like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and all, and knowledge of data pre-processing, feature engineering, understanding the model evaluation and deployment process. And if I move to MLOps engineer, the focus over there is on operational aspects of machine learning systems, ensuring smooth integration, deployment, and maintenance. And skill set, expertise in DevOps practices and tools. I'm sure some of you must be having DevOps experience. So that comes very handy. And knowledge of containerization and orchestration, experience with continuous integration and deployment pipelines that we talk about. So those are the skill set that you have to acquire if you want to work as an MLOps engineer. Data scientists, when we talk about the role, will involve analyzing and interpreting complex data sets to provide actionable insights, develop and apply machine learning models for solving business problems. Skill set, proficient in statistical analysis, data manipulation, programming languages, machine learning algorithms. So that's important. And nowadays we also hear decision scientist. So that's a role where you apply statistical and mathematical methods to assess decision-making process within an organization. And again, background in mathematics and statistics is very important. And not to forget, a knack of problem solving. And then you have data engineer. So data engineer is basically role would be designing, constructing, and maintaining the system and architectures for storing and processing data. So you'll be working on data pipelines and ETL processes. And skill set, proficiency in database technologies, or even big data technology, ETL processes. Programming skills are also important because eventually you will be connecting to either machine learning engineers or probably data scientists for the entire efficient workflow. And then you have business intelligence engineer, which develops and implement BI solutions to turn raw data into actionable insights for business decision making. And here you need to have proficiency in some BI tools and working with different sources of data. So that's how these roles are, and we have gone through a top to bottom approach. But this is how these roles are, and these are pretty important role. And you need to decide that in what domain you want to move, and in what kind of path you want to take.
Thank you so much, Avitindra, for giving us an overview of AML career paths in the 2024 space here. So we are getting a lot of questions in the Q&A box here, and folks have a lot of questions about career paths or skills in AML space. We'll be taking your questions in some time when the speaker gets time. Thank you so much for that. Would love to know which career path in AML are you aspiring for in this year 2024 here. You can let us know in the chat here. As you can see, we have talked about these career paths here. Feel free to share in. And also, now that we have talked about the skills, we have talked about what are the career paths which be in demand in 2024 and also in the future as well. So we would love to know what exactly is stopping you from becoming an AI/ML expert here. So I see responses for career paths also coming in on the chat here. Let's be aspirational, right? Let's share what exactly are you planning for as a career path in AI/ML, if you're already working on something as well. So please do share across. We have gotten some 200 plus of folks who have joined us here today. And also the poll for what's stopping you from becoming an AI/ML expert is also live here. For folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel, you can basically let us know on the chat by basically just putting down options as 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just read out those options for you as well. So the first option here is I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And the second one is I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. Third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the last one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So you can just quickly choose multiple options here, as this is a multiple choice poll, as there can be multiple challenges you're facing, right, when it comes to pursuing a career in AI/ML. So we would love to know what are the challenges you're facing. If these options do not cover your challenge, you can let us know in the Q&A box. If you have a challenge you're facing, or if you have a query, anything related to AI/ML, pursuing a career in AI/ML, if you're coming from a completely different field, any questions of sort, you can let us know in the Q&A box. And the Q&A box is already buzzing with a lot of interesting questions already from you folks. Thank you so much for that. And I see folks are also responding on the YouTube live chat box with the options of what exactly is stopping you from becoming an AI/ML expert. So let's give it, I think, 5 more seconds, folks, because I see most of you have already responded for the poll. That's great. But I think some of you who are still thinking about it, let's give you 5 last seconds, folks. And also for folks who are putting down their aspirational goal, career goals in AI/ML, maybe like Amit, we can check it out as well. They are responding on the chat here as well. Chat is completely buzzing out with responses. So last 5 seconds for the poll here. What's stopping you from becoming an AIML expert? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks. Let's see what have you voted for. So what exactly is the challenge you're facing when it comes to pursuing a career in AIML or becoming an AIML expert here? So we can see that we have gotten 51% votes for I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And I see 41% of the votes for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And we see 35% votes for my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. And 17% votes for I find it difficult to learn from behind videos. And a lot of you folks on YouTube live chat box have voted for the second option. I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And few for the fourth option. My work schedule would allow me enough time for learning. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Let me just quickly stop sharing and introduce you to the program here by IIT Kanpur. Also, I see a lot of interesting questions in the chat box. I'm so sorry. We actually will miss your question there because you can see the chat box is completely buzzing out with messages here. So please go and put down your queries in the Q&A box, and our speaker Mithindra will, whenever he gets the time, he will basically go and check out the Q&A box and address whenever we have the time, or we will be answering it towards the end of the session. So please do that because we would love to address as many queries as possible to help you out. Thank you so much. So let me quickly introduce you to the program here by IIT Kanpur. This is a professional certificate course in AI and machine learning here. This comes with a comprehensive industry-aligned learning path. You get access to integrated hands-on labs and projects for practical experience, which we'll be talking about much more in detail in the upcoming slides, and also online live virtual classrooms with peer and instructor interaction. So it is not just a recorded course here. You actually get to interact with the instructor. And also the program duration is of 11 months. You can just complete it by giving 10 to 15 hours per week. From initial poll which we did of experience here, which I saw a lot of you who actually are working professionals and have more than 5 years experience as well. So this program with the duration of 11 months, you can just complete it by giving 10 to 15 hours per week. Basically, it makes it very flexible to fit your schedule, basically whatever your responsibilities are. Now let's talk about the IIT Kanpur advantage here. So the IIT Kanpur Institute was established in 1959 and is a leading educational institution with an international reputation here. And IIT is home to India's national blockchain project and the Interdisciplinary Center for Cybersecurity and Cyber Defense of critical infrastructure here. And having IIT Kanpur on your CV is definitely something basically prestigious, and you can basically have this on your portfolio to basically amp your portfolio up as well. And also, let's talk about the eligibility and prerequisites here. I see a lot of you have actually raised questions if I'm eligible for this program or not. What are the prerequisites for the program? So let me just quickly take you through them. So here we have one eligibility criteria. You need to have a prior knowledge or experience in programming and mathematics, and also a bachelor's degree with an average of 50% or higher marks. And 2+ years of formal work experience is preferred, not compulsory, but preferred to take up this program. If you have any questions about these criteria, please do let us know in the Q&A box. We'll answer those questions here. Now let's talk about how this program prepares you. So let's maybe Amitindra start with how this program builds the AML skills step by step.
Sure, Rasha. So one of the poll option was that they can't find a comprehensive program. And if you look at this particular program, this is quite comprehensive in nature, in a sense that it starts from very basics of skill set that is required to venture in this particular field, and then it builds on top of that. So one of the key area that you need to focus upon when you are in this particular field is mathematics and statistical analysis that we talk about. So this program starts with mathematics and statistics essential, and it also has a program refresher. So what it does, it builds the basic concepts that you are supposed to know before understanding any data science concept or machine learning concept. So it starts from there, builds the basic foundation for you. You will be able to understand what kind of algorithm you're gonna work, and also what kind of mathematics is behind it, or if some statistical techniques are getting used on a particular data, you will understand how do they work and how do you customize it if required. So it starts with mathematics and statistical essential and program refresher. Then it moves to applied data science with Python, where the basic data science techniques will be taught to start with. So here you deal with what kind of different libraries are there in Python, which will help you in your data science workload or machine learning workloads. It also focuses upon data wrangling technique, feature engineering, and and it does a refresher on your statistical inference as well, where we talk about hypothesis testing and all. So the idea is that you understand that what kind of analysis exists before you decide on a particular machine learning model. So you get to know how to do data wrangling, feature engineering, data transformation, feature encoding, which is very important. After that, we move to machine learning, where we talk about machine learning algorithms. So here we deal with different kinds of algorithms which are there on a broad level, supervised and unsupervised learning that we talk about. And within each framework, what all algorithms are there and how do they work. So the idea is to explain you the algorithm, that what is the mathematics behind it, and then you should be able to implement on the data. And that's how this program has been designed. You will be taught a particular algorithm. You will be explained how the algorithm functions entirely, and then you get to work on a data where you are applying that algorithm, and then you're coming up with a conclusion. So those algorithms, not only you need to understand how do they work, but eventually you need to understand how to fine tune those models. So that is also focused here. So different types of machine learning algorithm will be taught over here. Then you move to deep learning with Keras and TensorFlow. So that's a natural progression we are talking about. Once you are done with machine learning, you have to move to deep learning. And here, among all the frameworks, Keras and TensorFlow are the most popular one. So we talk about how to work with Keras, TensorFlow. We also discuss in detail how a neural network functions and how it has been transformed over the years, how it has been inspired by human brain, and then how do you build a neural network, what's a working of it, what kind of mathematics is involved over there, how do you fine tune it, how do you build a very deep network, how do you train it in an optimized manner. So all that essential element of deep learning will be taught to you, and then you will get to experiment with the data as well. And you will be taught different kinds of deep learning algorithms, starting with the simple artificial neural network that we talk about, and then convolutional neural network, your recurrent neural networks, and and even your unsupervised learning technique within deep learning framework. After that, we'll talk about essential of generative AI, prompt engineering, and ChatGPT. In last few years, you must have seen generative AI has gone to a different level altogether. And ChatGPT, ever since it came into the picture, people started talking about prompt engineering. So here we discuss what is generative AI, how it has evolved over the period of time, what is prompt engineering, and how you can create effective prompts, efficient prompts, what kind of contextual information is important when you're creating prompts. So that will be taught to you in this particular section. And then we will also get into chat GPT and how it works. Now, once this entire program is done, then you have to work on your capstone project. Now, capstone project is basically a something which you should be very clear about from day one, that you have to what you're going to learn from it. So let me explain to you what happens with the capstone. So sorry. So capstone, when we talk about, it's a capstone project is a crucial component of any graduate program you talk about. And the capstone serves several important purposes, helping learners integrate and apply the knowledge and the skills they have gained throughout the program. So right from day one till your last day of the program, whatever you have learned, that will be put in practice. And that's where the capstone comes. So it will help you with the application of your knowledge, and it gives you a real world experience. Through the capstone project, learners gain hands-on experience in dealing with real world data sets, challenges, and scenarios. And this practical exposure is invaluable for transitioning from a theoretical learning to practical implementation. And eventually, it also helps you with your portfolio development. A successfully executed capstone project becomes a significant addition to a student's portfolio. It showcases their ability to work on complex problems, design solutions, and implement machine learning models effectively. So, keeping all these advantage in consideration, a capstone is developed for this particular program where you get to work with some real-time problem and you solve it based on the knowledge that you have gained in this entire program. So that's the entire program. In addition to that, you have electives where you can choose any of these programs: reinforcement learning, advanced deep learning, computer vision, NLP, speech recognition, and there will be master classes from industry experts. So this is the whole program. Rasha.
Thank you so much, Amitindra, for taking us through the steps here of the program, how exactly it builds this skill step by step. And I think you've already mentioned about the electives here. So they come as a part of the program, but they're optional. It is up to you if you want to take it up. We don't charge anything extra for them. And also, very much in demand question like, Amitindra, are you going to be the one giving training or someone else on the Q&A box? So I think you can clear that as well if you have upcoming cohorts of yourself for the program here.
I do take programs. I'm taking care of Caltech University PGP program, Purdue University I take, and other cohorts also I take.
I hope that answers your question. I see Gupta here. Please do let us know if you have any follow-up questions. We are getting a lot of questions in the Q&A box. It's completely buzzing with interesting queries from you. Thank you so much for that. We'll be answering questions here. We'll be talking more about how basically you can master in-demand tools here and libraries and platforms through this program by IIT Kanpur here. We can see so many tools here. Mitendra, maybe you can give us an overview of few of them, which will be really helpful for some of the folks to understand who completely come from a non-AIML field to start with.
Sure. So this particular slide basically giving you the idea that what all you get to learn in this particular program. Again, if you're coming from a non-programming background, you don't have to get scared of it, because the program starts with very basics of programming, so that people who are do not come from a background of programming, they come at the same level of other people who have done programming in their professional life. So in addition to that, what we do here is we also help you with different libraries, different packages, which are very essential when you are dealing with any kind of machine learning algorithm or even the statistical analysis. So Python will be dealt in detail. Then within Python framework, you have different libraries, like you have NLTK, you have Matplotlib, sklearn. So those are the libraries which are useful at different stages of machine learning life cycle that we talk about. TensorFlow, Keras are essential libraries or frameworks for your deep learning algorithms. ChatGPT has become so much in demand these days, so we are dealing with that also. We are telling you how to utilize ChatGPT to the maximum extent. You have DAL-E, another generative AI transformer-based algorithm. You have OpenAI Gym for your reinforcement learning. Then if you want to deploy the models, you get to learn how to work with Kubernetes or Flask. So these are the different libraries, different frameworks that you will come across. Most of them you'll come across in this session, and some of them you'll be given idea that why they are required. So that's what it is.
Thank you so much for giving us a glimpse on these in-demand tools, platforms, and libraries we'll be covering through this program here. So now that we've talked about the basically the tools here, and also basically how this program builds their skills step by step, let's also explore how I think you have already mentioned about the caption project here, and also the industry-based projects they'll be working on. Maybe these real business implications projects, how maybe you can answer. I'm pretty sure the audience wants to know how having a project from this program will help them, with job searching and landing a job.
First
For
of
someone
all,
who does not have any experience in AI/ML, how does having a project like this help them
okay, so first of all, these projects, when you talk about, they're quite comprehensive, and they start with a real world problem statement, and the context is given to you. The good thing is that you come across different project coming from different domains. So you get to work with retail data, or it could be BFSI, it could be coming from a pharmaceutical domain, or it could be production manufacturing. So you get to know that what kind of problem in real world you're supposed to solve, and then this capstone would be, as I mentioned, very comprehensive. So you get to also learn that where do you start, how do you take a problem, break down into smaller components, and then how do you work on those components based on the knowledge that you have gained in this particular program. So these capstones will actually give you a lot of confidence. It also helps you to understand that what happens in real world scenario, and how do you package the entire solution, how do you solve it, and eventually how do you present it. So that's something which gives a lot of confidence to you. You understand how it works in real life, and also it adds to your resume. It works as a portfolio for you that you have solved a particular problem end to end. And then one more thing I have seen when I interact with these learners post the program, also I have been in touch with some of them. They mentioned that once they solve the capstone, they are able to perform well in the interviews, because now they have the complete understanding that how a project moves, and they are able to showcase that in their interview processes, and that's where the real success lies. So these capstones are pretty crucial, as I mentioned earlier, and it really helps learner to get a thorough understanding that how it works.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for shedding light on these projects here, how exactly they will help, the learners here to basically build a portfolio of their own. And moving on, I think you already talked about the caption projects here, which basically they can showcase to their future employees here. So now, what exactly are the caption projects? Let me just quickly review it once again. So, caption projects here mimic real life business scenarios for true experience you can showcase in your portfolio. Also, the learners get to choose from one out of several base projects here as per their preference, which Amitendra has already mentioned before. And it involves real world business scenarios here, which you can work on. Again, like for someone who does not have any experience here, definitely these projects help you showcase that experience through these projects, which you get to cover in this program. So now let us quickly go through the learning environment of the professional certificate program in AI and machine learning by IIT Kanpur here. We'll be giving you a glimpse here of the learning environment, how exactly you can manage your curriculum, how does the live virtual classroom look like, how you can basically be a part of these classes, how you can track them, where do you get those tests and assessments, and how you can unlock the certificates, or also track your progress overall as well, and what are the support tools and everything. So Amitendra will be giving you an overview of that. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, we have covered a program preview more than what we can basically showcase here. Please do let us know if you have any questions about the program here in the Q&A box. And Amitendra, if you can share your screen for basically showcasing the learning environment.
Learning environment, okay.
I'm so sorry. I think I got in a comment on chat. I'll try to be a little slow for a few of the folks here. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the feedback. Also, folks, this is a really good time because we'll be moving towards the Q&A part of the session pretty soon. And this is a really good time for you to basically put down any questions you might have about the program by IIT Kanpur here. And also any basically questions, if you have any questions in terms of pursuing a career in AI/ML. So yeah, please do that.
Okay, so I'll go through the learning management system that we provide to our learners. So once you enroll for a program, you will be given a LMS link where you can log in and you can join the program that has been assigned to you. And I have many programs over here, but I'll just give you the understanding how it looks like. So like I have this applied data science with Python. Once you get into that particular section, it will have a self-learning, section where you get to go through some recorded videos just for your preparation purpose, so that when you come to the classroom, you have some understanding. It's not that we're going to go through some concept over here, just a basic introduction we talk about here. And those self-learning videos you can simply watch, and it's there for you for your own understanding. So if you see here, it talks about what is data science, and it has all these sections where we talk about data science process and then essential Python programming and all that comes over here. And every section will have a certificate option also. Once you finish this section, the certificate will be unlocked for this particular program. Similarly, you will have multiple sections. And if I go to say, suppose one of them, say this one here. So see here, this is what we were talking about. You will have your mathematics and statistics essential. You will have your programming refresher, Python for data science, applied data science with Python, machine learning, deep learning, as I mentioned on the slide when we were talking about. Now I can go inside applied data science with Python. And once I go inside, you will get to see same section as self-learning. But if you get to see here, and this is where this LMS is quite useful. What happens is you need one platform where everything that you need should be available. So here you have self-learning videos. Then you have live class option where you can join your live sessions, which will be instructor led. And once that session is over, that session will be recorded and will be available under live class section itself. So you can click on that. You can join the session, and later on, if you want to watch it again, the video will be available. Then it has reference material over here. Now, this is all the presentations that a trainer will be using is provided over here, along with the code book. So IPYNB that you see is basically the code books that you will be dealing with in the classroom. And even the data set has been given over here, so that you don't have to go some other place and download data from there. So anything that is required in the classroom is available over here. You can simply download and keep it handy whenever the session is starting. Then you also get the practice lab here itself. And this is how it looks like. Like I can launch my practice lab here. See here, I launched the lab, and the lab, this one is the Python lab, and I'll show you one more aspect of it, like the code book that we are talking about and how we deal with the classes, generally how we teach. I'll explain to you that. And meantime, I'll just tell you one more thing. Once the section is over, you have an assessment tab over there where the projects are listed. So every section that we talk about, every course that we say, it will have a course end project. So applied data science with Python, once you finish, there'll be a project for this particular program itself that you need to solve to get your certificate done. Now, this is how typically a session goes. I start my lab, and I have been given this is the notebook that will be shared with all the students. And if you see here, this is how it looks like. So you will have your agenda, what we are teaching, and then we explain the concept. After explaining the concept here itself, immediately we will implement it on the code book. So once we explain here itself, we will say we have this data. Let's get that data into this environment and let's start solving some problem. So we'll teach here, and here itself will solve some problem also. So see here, this is how it goes. We teach you, and then we have the data, we have the code. We explain line by line what we are doing. Sometime, if required, we might start a new notebook and can give you further explanation also based on questions. So that's how we utilize lab. And once this entire course is over, you can go to your learning track. And in learning track, you will have your assessment. And here in the assessment, you have projects mentioned, and you will have a simulation test also. And one of the project has to be submitted for your certificate to be unlocked. And if you want to try both, you're welcome to do. But at least one you have to submit. And some of the course end will have more than 2, more than 3 projects as well. So these are the course end project. And eventually you will have capstone, which is a separate one. So this is how our LMS look like. And in addition to that, you also have an option of reaching out to our support team if in case if you have some kind of problem. So there is a help available for you. And also we have our own blog where you can reach out to different trainers. Like if you want to reach out to me, there is a link given to every learner. They can write to me over there if they have some problem, and I can reach out to them. So this is overall how the LMS look like. Over to you, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for taking through the LMS here. I think we did get one question here while you were showcasing them the classes there. So I see someone has asked that how long the past class video recording is available, and will that expire after some time?
Uh, all the classes recordings are available, and I think the lab access is available for 6 months to 1 year, depending on the program that you are joining.
Thank you so much for answering that. I hope that answers your question. I'm not able to make out your name from email ID. Please let us know if you have any follow-up questions here. So thank you so much. Let me share back my screen. So yeah, we just covered the learning environment here of the program by IIT Kanpur here in AIML. Now let's move on to the next part here. So here we have global leaders as program advisors. We have Professor Amey Karkare, who is the Department of Computer Science and Engineering IIT Kanpur program director here. And basically they make sure that we are delivering as per standards of IIT Kanpur. Now when we talk about we Simplilearn here. And also let's quickly share the learner outcomes here with you. Also, the previous classes interestingly have consisted of learners from world-class organizations and diverse industries. Industries they come from IT, consultancy, others, more and BFSI hiring companies. The world-class organizations here: Amazon, Cognizant, Infosys, TCS, Genpact, Deloitte, EY, Wells Fargo, Dell, and many more. We're just able to put some here. There are plenty of these world-class organizations, folks basically come to join this program here. And at the end of it all, you'll be getting a program completion certificate by E&ICT Academy, IIT Kanpur, which you can see on your screen here. This will be certified to you for the professional certificate course in AI machine learning by IIT Kanpur. And you'll get exposure to latest trends like generative AI, prompt engineering, ChatGPT, and more, which we talked about. And also the hands-on projects, which we talked about in integrated labs, including a capstone project, which we actually discussed in very much detail here. And also the master classes will be delivered by distinguished IIT Kanpur faculty here. So we have talked about the skills, we have talked about the career path, we have talked about what exactly is, will be in demand in AML space. And also we have talked about how this program builds your AML skills step by step. And also the projects you'll be covering in this program, which basically you can showcase in your portfolio once you're getting out there, trying to basically get job ready and land your job in AML space here. We'll be talking about more about the program here, and also taking questions from the Q&A box here. The Q&A box has been buzzing throughout the session, so we have some time and we'll try to cover as many questions as possible. But before that, we would love to know, are you interested in enrolling into the professional certificate course in AML program by IIT Kanpur here? You can share your interest towards enrollment by this quick poll, which I'm launching on the screen, which you can share your interest in enrollment by sharing the response as yes here. And I'll just give 10-15 seconds for the poll here. And meanwhile, let's maybe Amitendra quickly browse to the questions we have gotten here. If you have some time, maybe check them out as well, because there are plenty of questions and we'll try to cover as many questions as possible.
I saw a couple of them which I would like to answer.
Yeah, sure.
One I saw a little earlier, which was the question was that somebody comes from a non-mathematics background and can they become a data scientist was the question, if I'm not mistaken. So I just want to tell, if I have to answer that, I would say yes, absolutely, you can become a data scientist, even though you do not come from a mathematics background. And many successful data scientists have diverse educational backgrounds, like including degrees in fields such as chemistry, biology, physics, and social sciences. If you search for some of the data scientists renowned one, you will come to know. While a background in mathematics, statistics, or computer science can be beneficial, it's not a strict requirement. And if I have to guide you on that, how to get into it, I would say develop fundamental skills, start with mathematics and statistics, strengthen your foundational knowledge in basic mathematics and statistics, focus on areas like linear algebra, probability, and statistics, learn programming language, acquire proficiency in programming languages commonly used in data science like Python, R, and all, and then start on some hands-on experience. So undertake hands-on project to apply your skills and build a portfolio. But yes, you'll have to work little extra hard compared to others who come from the same background, but it doesn't mean that you cannot. And that was one question. And the poll is still running. I can take up one more. So one more is here as
Yeah,
a
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go
So
ahead.
another one I see as a mechanical engineer, how can learning AI and ML will benefit me? As a mechanical engineer, learning can bring several benefits. If I have to say, like it could be you want to get into predictive maintenance. Machine learning can be applied to predict equipment failures and schedule maintenance activities. This helps in preventing unexpected breakdowns, reducing downtime, and optimizing maintenance costs in mechanical system. Or it could be design and testing is another part of it which you can focus upon. AI and ML techniques can analyze large data sets generated during design and testing phases, and this can lead to data-driven design decisions, resulting in more efficient and effective mechanical systems. Or it could be these days, it's very popular, smart manufacturing. So AI and ML play a crucial role in industry initiatives. Learning these technologies can help you understand and implement smart manufacturing concepts like your IoT integration, data analytics, real-time monitoring that you talk about, or it could be robotics and automation. So even when you're talking about mechanical engineering, there is a good potential. You need to just focus on those areas. The underlying concept of AI and ML will remain same. It's just that you need to start mapping those knowledge points to your industry specific problem that you can solve.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for taking off your questions here. And we'll be taking more questions. But last 10 seconds, folks, for before the live poll closes here. So last 10 seconds for would you like to enroll into the professional certificate course in AI and machine learning by IIT Kanpur here? You can share your response as yes if you are interested in enrolling, and I'll quickly take you through the enrollment steps here of the program, and also sharing the program fee and the upcoming cohorts of the program. And also there'll be a special duration for the Q&A part as well. So we'll try to take as many queries as possible. And also seeing from the live poll here, we are actually getting a lot of interest in enrollment. So that's great. So last 5 seconds, folks, for the poll here. So would you like to enroll into the program by IIT Kanpur here? And also folks who have joined us live on YouTube, if you would like to enroll into the program, you can share your interest towards enrollment by clicking on the link on the top of the description here. That is the program link. And through that, you can basically share interest towards enrollment through that link. So quickly go and check out the description. You'll find the program link of IIT Kanpur on the top, and you can share your interest by filling down a few quick details there. So thank you so much. I think I'll just quickly end the poll. Last 5 seconds, folks. For folks, this is what I said. It is for the folks who have joined us live on YouTube. This is not for you. You can share your interest towards enrollment through this quick poll here, which is live on Zoom. So let me just quickly end the poll. Last 5 seconds, folks. Would you like to enroll into the program by IIT Kanpur here? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll, and let's move on to the enrollment steps here. From the poll here, I saw a lot of interest coming towards enrollment. Most of you actually have shared interest towards enrollment into the IIT Kanpur program here. So that's great. Let me quickly take you through the enrollment steps here. So 3 simple easy steps. So once basically Simplilearn's learning consultants will be getting in touch with you. They will be taking you through these 3 simple easy steps only. So I'll just give you a quick overview of that. So step 1 here is you need to submit an application to us at ahaskas@simplilearn.net. After that, your application will be going for review, and basically based on the eligibility and the criteria which I've shared with you earlier, it will be getting reviewed based on that. And based on that, you'll be getting admissions offer from Simplilearn's learning consultant. And here, let's talk about the enrollment schedule and the program fee here. A lot of you have asked when is the immediate cohort? I would love to join. And also, what is the program fee here? So the next upcoming cohort here is the classes will be starting on 17th Feb 2024. And the induction for this will be starting on 2nd Feb 2024. And the program fee here is 1,15,400 including taxes here, INR. And also, I think some of you have asked like if we have any EMI options or financing options available. So we do have that, and you can just avail the EMI options for as low as 5,220 rupees per month. And also, as I mentioned earlier, simplilearn.net. Let me just quickly share this email ID with you on the chat here as well, in case you have any queries. And also, I see a lot of you are messaging on the chat. Yes, would love to enroll. Yes, like towards enrollment. I hope you have voted in the poll as well. Thank you so much for showing your interest here. Now, quickly move towards the Q&A part of the session here. The Q&A box has been buzzing out with a lot of messages here. And let's quickly browse through the questions we have here on the chat here. Also, interestingly, we actually have a lot of current alumni who are taking up the course have also joined us, Amitendra. So that's interesting. So please do let us know if you have any career related courses we can help you out with while you're already taking up the course. Let's quickly see what questions do we have here. I'm just browsing through the questions because we have gotten plenty of questions here. Let me just quickly see. We have gotten a lot of repetitive questions here as well. I think a lot of you folks have joined from different countries apart from India. So what I'll do is I'll share the link towards the program here. For it will be the same. So you'll go and check out this link towards the program which I've shared on the chat here. Okay, I think we have one question from Abhinav Srivastav here, Amitin. As a mechanical engineer, how can learning AIML will benefit me?
Hey, that I have taken.
Okay, already taken care.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry, must have missed it. Also, let's see. Just checking in if you have taken this question. I come from a project management background. And could you please help me with relevant skill set I should gain in order to pursue a career in AIML? Not able to make out name from the email ID here. So have you taken this question?
No, not yet.
Okay. So maybe we can answer this question.
Sure. So project management, when you're talking about, and I'm assuming that you have the project management, but you do not have any technical skill set, is what my assumption is. So you have to start with understanding the basics of AI. If I have to give you a simple step-by-step process, so this is what I would say, that understand what is artificial intelligence, machine learning. Start with that and try to understand how it is helpful in your domain, and map out certain problems that you think could be solved with this, with the help of these technologies. Then you have to learn programming. There's no other way at the moment. You have to learn programming, and then you can focus on certain frameworks that is required for implementing these concepts on the data, and look for certain communities where you can take help in terms of how problem solving is happening, what kind of uh, algorithms are there, how do they work. So basically, you have to start from very basic foundation in all these concepts, and then pick up an area that sounds interesting to you within that framework, and you have to build your path along that particular line. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much for answering that, Amitendra. I hope that answers your question. We have a very similar question, I think, which you have already answered from, I think, Mahesh here. Similar question of, path change as well. So let me just quickly browse through the questions here. We're a little out of time here, which I have tried addressing as many quizzes as possible, and also a lot of repeated questions from you folks here. So let's just quickly see if we have any question we can take up. We just have few minutes left. So I think we have answered most of your questions here.
Yeah, I'll take it one more if you're fine with that.
Sure, sure.
I got a question. I saw, let me just see, I copied somewhere. Okay, I saw one question. Hello, in pursuit of optimizing my business operations, I seek to integrate cutting-edge AI and ML technologies for seamless data analytics. How can I navigate the complexities of this integration to achieve flawless automation while fortifying against cyber threats, leveraging NAS, big data, and other advanced technologies? Okay, that question caught my eye, so I copied it. So basically, if I tell you, it would be very a very at a high level, I can explain you what you can do. So integrating a cutting edge AI and ML technology for seamless data analytics and ensuring the security of your business will involve a very careful planning and execution. And I can tell you what you can do. You can start with uh, a very clear objective. So sit down and then clearly outline the objectives and goals of integrating AI and ML technologies. Why I'm saying it? Because once you outline it properly, you will know what all components are required for that. So once you define it, outline it entirely, identify specific areas where automation and data analytics can bring the most value. So until unless you do not pinpoint which area or what task, it would be a good idea that AI can basically help you, but you'll not be able to implement it. And then do a technology assessment. That's something which is very important, especially the kind of problem you are asking. So you need to assess your current technology infrastructure and capabilities. So ensure that your existing system can support the integration of AI and ML technology. Identify any potential gaps or areas that require upgrades. And then you will move to your probably data preparation and quality. You have to select some AI ML technology frameworks. And then similarly, when you talk about neural architecture search, NAS is what you mentioned. If you're utilizing it, then you understand the requirement and benefits it offer in optimizing neural network architecture automatically. Because term look very fancy, people talk about it, but you need to understand if it solves your problem or not. Even big data technologies, when you're talking about, you need to see that what kind of what amount of data you have and how you're scaling up in next 3 to 4 years, and what and do we actually need those kind of scaling option or not. All that you need to understand, and not to forget your security and cyber threat part that you mentioned. So prioritize cyber security measures to fortify your system against potential threats. So that I can give you a very at a broad level at this point in time. Now, this is what you can think of, and in that line, you can start planning your entire workload.
Thank you so much for taking that question up, Amitendra. I think we have exceeded the time of the session, so sorry, folks. I see a lot of questions coming about the webinar certificate. So yes, let me just quickly address that question for you folks. So I'll be ending the session now, and you'll be getting a post-webinar pop-up by Zoom here for folks who have joined us live on Zoom. And in that, it will ask you to put on your full name, which you would want to see in your webinar certificate for attending this webinar, not the course program certificate. So please do that once I end the session now, and I hope that answers your queries. And you'll be getting it within 24 to 48 hours once we end the session. So yeah, that is about the webinar certificate. And we are towards the end of the session now. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Please do let us know how did you like the session on the chat here. And you can share the feedback for us on the post-webinar survey as well. There will be an option how we can make our webinars for you better and much more value adding here. So thank you so much for that. And thank you, Amitendra, once again for joining us and giving this free program preview of this program by IIT Kanpur here. Would love to basically, if you love to say something to the audience before we end the session, because I saw a lot of interest towards enrollment from most of the folks who have joined us for this session. And I think you'll be seeing a lot of them in the upcoming cohorts.
That's what I would like to say, guys. See you in the next sessions in the cohort, and best of luck for your whatever interest you are pursuing.
Thank you so much, Amitendra. Thank you once again, everyone. You don't have to type your full name here in the post-webinar survey, which will basically pop up once I end the session. So thank you so much, folks. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining and being an amazing audience. Thank you.